Why nobody told me anything about this before? Again, listen to them. Those are not essential things. She wanted me to breastfeed him, and I was like, I know that hot topic that not a lot of people like to talk about. You guys, that is painful. And I'm so happy that I realized that early on, mostly when we are first-time moms, and that is normal. Today, we're gonna talk about things that I wish I knew as a first-time mom. Things that people don't talk about, our mothers don't tell us, not even our friends tell us, unless you go to them and be like, oh my god, this is happening to me now that I have a baby. And then they tell you, oh yes, that happens, it's normal. And then you're just like, why nobody told me anything about this before? Again, I know I usually upload vlogs, but this week there was nothing special going on. And you know, I'm gonna get comfortable because we're gonna talk like besties now, okay? If you are pregnant, not pregnant, or if you already have a baby, I'm sure you would appreciate this type of content to kind of have an idea what to expect, you know? Even though motherhood is different for everybody, of course, but I'm sure there's a lot of relatable stuff because it's not only one thing, okay? So the first thing I'm going to say, you guys, is when they tell you to rest when you're pregnant with a big belly, listen to them, because after that baby comes, you're not gonna sleep whenever you please, even if you're sick, even if you're tired. If that baby does not want to go to sleep with you, you ain't gonna take no nap, you ain't gonna go to sleep early, you ain't gonna sleep in, okay? When you're pregnant, usually if you're somebody that likes to always do things around the house, or like you're still working, like me, I worked until it was a week before my due date. I just felt like, yo, I feel useless, I'm not doing anything. I kind of felt guilty because I was like, yo, my man is working and I'm here just laying down like a potato, watching TV, doing nothing, using my phone, scrolling on social media. After the baby came, I would lie to you if the first few weeks I didn't think to myself, whenever he would wake up in the middle of the night, like, yo, how much I wish I could go back to when I was pregnant and rest all the time that I wanted without feeling guilty. Listen, ladies, do not feel guilty of resting when you are pregnant, because that body of yours is doing a hard ass job, and that's something that we sometimes don't understand. And if we don't understand it, our partners will not get it either. But yes, rest. That's the only thing I'm gonna tell you, that you should listen to them. When they tell you to do it, just do it. The next thing I'm gonna talk about, I already knew, but I just want to put it out there because I know there's still a lot of people that think that they need a bunch of baby stuff, that they need their nursery ready to go, that they need a bunch of clothes. You don't need a bunch of stuff. Only thing you will need is diapers, a crib, wipes, milk if you're gonna do formula in your bottles, and if you're gonna breastfeed, I would recommend to have a breast milk pump, clothing, and not all type of clothes. I would highly recommend you to get onesies, and not a lot of them. You don't need no swing, you don't need a mat to lay your baby on the floor, you don't need all of those things. They are cool to have, yes, but if you cannot have them, or if you don't have time to get them, you don't need to feel pressure to get it. Those are not essential things that you will need when your baby comes. The next thing is something that I struggle for a little bit, because my mom didn't breastfeed. She tried and she couldn't. And since she didn't have that experience, she didn't have anything to tell me about it. She was just pushing me, you know, like, try to breastfeed him, that's the best milk, blah, 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 you know, the things that we already know about breast milk. And when I gave birth, I remember telling the nurse, you know, they put them on your chest most of the time if you know, if your baby has no issues when they come out. She wanted me to breastfeed him, and I was like, but I told her, it's just a little tiny bit of milk coming out and it's brown. And she was telling me, it's okay, that's all your baby needs. It's just a little bit of milk. Their stomach is very tiny. In my head, I'm like, girl, what are you saying? This baby needs to eat. In my head, I'm like, that's too little. How am I gonna feed him that? And I asked for formula, and I was feeding him formula because I thought that my supply was too little, even though the nurse told me that's enough for your baby. And he will have just like a little sip and he will be full, less than an ounce. To be honest, you guys, don't underestimate your body, because that is enough for your baby. Whatever you're producing, that's all they need. And if I get pregnant again, whenever I do, I would love to just start from zero to give them my breast milk. At the beginning, I was just combination feeding, however they call that, when you give them formula and then sometime throughout the day you also give them breast milk, because I was pumping. I just wish I had listened to that nurse and started feeding him my breast milk from day one. There was a time that I had to take some teas to increase my supply. When I started learning more about it, I was like, oh my god, what have I been doing? Like, my milk supply is going down because I'm not breastfeeding him. I'm just pumping here and there. Just listen to your body. But that's one advice I would give you: put your baby on your breast the minute you get your child, if that's in your plans to breastfeed, because I know not every mom wants to breastfeed their kid, okay? But yeah, that's something that I wish I knew. Girl, that's enough for your baby. But with breastfeeding also came the painful thing of clogged ducts. And I did not know what was that. I did not know that was a thing. I did not know that could happen. Nobody ever told me that. Yes, if you take a long time to pump or breastfeed your child, there's a chance that your duct can get clogged. You guys, that is painful. It lasted like a whole 2-3 weeks. It happened to me because I started drinking coconut water, which is good to help produce more milk because it hydrates you. And when I started drinking that, I would produce a lot of milk, but I would still continue with my same schedule. And since it was too much milk and he was not drinking it at all, and that's what gave me the clogged duct, and it was painful, you guys. So if you are noticing that your child is not drinking everything, pump. Do not leave that milk there, because it might give you a painful little thing to work with. Another thing that I'm going to mention, because I feel like a lot of people feel pressure with the sleeping schedule whole situation. And I'm gonna say it like this because I was one of those people. That's why I'm saying, like, I wish I knew I didn't have to have my kid on a sleeping schedule, because I was kind of forcing it. I tried it for a week to like have him on a sleeping schedule, and it was hard. It was mentally draining for me, and I just got to realize, like, yo, every kid is different. You do not need a sleeping schedule. Let your kid go to sleep. Dime, mi amor, when they feel sleepy, okay? That's what I started to do. I would let my kid go to sleep whenever he was feeling sleepy. It was usually like at midnight. I didn't mind because me and my man would go to sleep late anyway. Then he started going to sleep by 11. Then it was 10:30, to the point that now he goes to bed between 8:30 to 9 p.m. Sometimes he will go to sleep like at 9:30. So yeah, you guys, don't put pressure on your little babies if they don't want to go to sleep at the time that you want them to go to sleep. I know sometimes we need rest from them, because if they're awake, we're going to be working, and we want to take a break for ourselves. But trust me, eventually it will pass. Everything is like a phase when these kids, you know, are growing. Nothing is gonna last forever, and I'm so happy that I realized that early on, because Also, another thing, you guys, the first few weeks you're going to smell, okay? You're gonna have a weird smell that you're not gonna like. When you give birth, I don't know what happens. To be honest, I didn't investigate. I didn't do my research on that, what hormone makes that happen or what. But you're going to be smelly. You're probably gonna be musty. You're gonna have like a weird smell that is not your typical smell, and that is normal. And I didn't even know that was a thing until I mentioned it to my friend. I was like, you know, lately I've been noticing that I smell like I have a weird smell, like musty. I don't know what smell was that. She said, oh yeah, that's normal. That happened to me too, and it's completely normal. It will go away. Boom, exactly how she said it. That's normal. It doesn't matter. That's the way the body works, so your baby can find you. And I was like, what? Also, you guys, while you're pregnant, some people, I don't know if everybody, but I'm gonna speak for myself, I wish I knew this, and that is normal, and that it was gonna go back to normal. Your nipples, my nipples were black, you guys, okay? And that is normal. It's going back to normal right after a few months of giving birth, okay? My armpits are back to normal. I feel like my nipples took longer though to get back to normal. And your nipples actually get darker supposedly, so your baby can find your breast. Give your body time to heal before you start going crazy about certain things, okay? Another thing that I'm gonna talk about is stretch marks. Throughout my whole pregnancy, I had no stretch marks, you guys. Stretch marks, okay? Stretch marks. I will bathe my body on oil everywhere, and I didn't get a single stretch mark. And when I gave birth, I was like, ooh, look at me, no stretch mark. Girl, after a few weeks of giving birth, I noticed I had 2 stretch marks on this side, which I still have, I believe. Yeah. And I'm like, body, what happened? This didn't come out when I had the big belly. Why now? But trust me, all of those things are normal. It's okay. Your body just gave birth to a whole human being, okay? I know people that bounce back like nothing, like they don't even like they gave birth and their body has no signals, but we are all different. Just gotta give our body the time and the love that our body needs, and, you know, help ourselves to look how we would like to look, or like close to what we like to look. But don't put pressure on your body. Another hot topic that not a lot of people like to talk about, because it's, to be honest, a little private, is how much this new journey tests your relationship, your marriage, whatever it is that you're in. And I'm speaking for myself, and because I know there's a lot of cases like that, that when our baby comes in your life, in your marriage, in your relationship, there are a lot of things that go south. Even if you had like a whole plan, that's when both of you need to understand, and you need to communicate and try to understand each other's point of view, or like understand their feelings, be more empathetic with each other. Because if you let the whole new thing and the baby and the I haven't sleep and you haven't sleep, I'm working more than you, I'm taking care of the baby more than you, or you haven't helped me with this, that's when all those things start to build up inside of you in your head, and you just become resentful towards each other. Another hot topic is the roommate phase. Yes, you heard me right. There's a phase when they're newborns that you and your partner, you will feel like you guys are roommates because of the whole situation. You just focus on the baby. Of course, you have to wait 3 months to get on the spicy hot little thing again. You're sleep deprived. The other person is tired, and all these things going on because you both are new to parenting. I love you, mi amor. Because like you're with a roommate. That's why it's called the roommate stage. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is how much you grow as a person after you have a baby. The older they get, the more you start to notice that. You need to learn how to control yourself, how to regulate yourself. You need to learn how to work on yourself and just have so much patience, because you are the one that is going to help your kid to regulate their emotions, not the neighbor, the parents, okay? When they turn a year, that's when the tantrums, how people call them, start happening, the meltdowns, the screaming, the crying for no reason. Trust me, there's always a reason for your child to have a type of behavior. There are behaviors that we as humans just like, they just trigger us. But you need to learn how to control yourself. You need to work on yourself, heal your inner child to be able to regulate your kid. The way that you will get the best outcome whenever your child is having a meltdown is when you are calm. If you go to them snapping and yelling and screaming, you ain't gonna do anything. Just know you ain't gonna do anything. So that's one thing I wish I knew. When you become a parent, you need to control yourself, breathe. If you need to take a second, take the second that you need to take to breathe and like regulate yourself, to then regulate your child, to help your child understand their emotions. Most of the times when kids get crazy is because they don't know how to communicate whatever feeling they're having, and we need to help our kids to understand their emotions and to regulate them. You can get books to read, I don't know, doing meditation, trying to understand yourself more. Start doing it now because you will need it. You will need that skill, okay? Actually, I'm reading this book right now. It's called The Nurture Revolution. I got it on Amazon. I haven't finished the book. I'm on chapter 6. I find this so interesting. It helps you learn about the baby's brain, our brain. Helps you understand more your kid and what they go through while they're growing. It gives you tools on how to resolve certain situations. It actually helps you understand their brain so much clearer, to the point that you feel more empathy towards your child. And reading books like that are very helpful. I only have been reading it for like 6 days, and I already noticed a difference on the way that I react to certain things and the way that I approach certain situations. And I just love it because you see the change on your kid as well. But just know that you need to know that you will regulate your kid's emotions. But to do that, you need to work on yourself. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is something normal that a lot of people experience, mostly when we are first-time moms, parents, whatever. Everybody and their mothers will want to raise your child. But just know that you don't need to listen to those people. You don't need to follow what they tell you. Follow your gut. You are the mother. You know your kid better than anybody on this earth. So whatever your gut is telling you, that's what it is. Unless, of course, you ask for advice or you ask for an opinion, take it. A lot of relationships just get messed up when a kid comes in because everybody wants to put their little input, like you asking for it. Don't listen to it. Don't let it get to your skin either. I wish I knew you guys. People have a lot to say about kids. Mostly now that our generation, I see that we're trying to raise our kids very differently from how we were raised. And a lot of people from those ages feel like, I don't know, some type of way about it and always have something to say. Don't listen to them. Just keep it moving. Keep raising your child how you believe is best for them and let the world just burn, okay? One last thing I'm going to say, you guys, that I also wish that I know is, do not stress about motherhood. Don't overthink it. Just know that you will learn as you go. Trust me, you will learn. Even if you have zero experience, you will learn as you go. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm gonna end up this video right here because this little guy is driving me crazy. He's just doing anything and everything to get my attention, and it's working because I'm getting stressed. Yes, I apologize, even though I shouldn't, because I will talk to you guys on my next video. See you next week.